All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to welcome a very special guest. Not special because he is my brother, Ilija Lukić, but special because he has helped me out kickstart this show more than anybody here knows. So Ilija here has been here for the trial run where I figured out the camera angles, where I figured out where the microphone should be. He has been here for one phase where I forgot to click the record button on the audio and nothing happened. And then he's been here where I've clicked the record button on the camera, but somehow it turned off. And third time's the charm, I think, is the last thing that we said last time that we were talking. So I apologize, first of all, and thank you sincerely for everything you've done and helped me with, because now I have a checklist of things I need to do and processes I've implemented because of the little technicalities that we've gotten into. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you for that welcome. The third time. the third time you get welcomed. I've never seen it ever, but hey, I'll take it. No, it's a pleasure. I'd rather it happen to me than anybody else.
Yeah, because then it looks like a Mickey Mouse show.
Yeah,
even though it is. But
and I won't judge. I'd rather it happen to me another 4 times than like
it won't happen again.
Imagine you get some like Porsche race car driver in here, and then all of a sudden,
by the way, the hour and a half that you were here.
Oh, you were talking about how you raced and you almost crashed and it didn't record.
Can you come back again?
Can we just do it again?
Can you come back from Windsor or wherever they
yeah,
wherever they live?
Hey, which by the way, I actually talked to a race car driver, a Porsche race car driver.
No, when?
And I went to the F1 in Montreal once.
Oh, sick.
And he was such a cool guy. He was an older gentleman. Don't know.
So retired from
life.
Porsche? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was an older gentleman.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember. I think he had a yellow Porsche because
like a 911 Cayman.
It was a 911.
Okay, cool.
And I think he crashed it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was like it wasn't his fault. It was just like that's how he reacted to it. He was like, I crashed it, whatever. And again, this is as far as I remember. I don't remember like the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah.
But super cool guy. He let me sit in it. He let me like look around and
now what kind of 911 obviously are we looking at? Like a 911, 997, 996?
I don't know. I can't tell you because I don't know. I really don't know. But it was cool though. Like the inside.
Did it look like this or did it look like this?
No, it wasn't like this. It was like this.
Okay. So it was
more like
generation.
maybe like 991. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Probably.
When was this? This was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, 997, 991, one of those two.
Yeah,
still great. Whatever.
No, it was wicked though. Like and he let us, because I went with a few guys. He let us take a piece of the bumper because he was gonna throw it out. Like he doesn't, because the bumper got crashed.
Oh,
he crashed it. Yeah.
Of the from the F1.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna throw it out, and he's like, we're like, can we just?
Were these GT3 cars?
Yeah, the GT3.
Okay, Porsches, so the GT3 Cup Porsches.
Yeah, that's correct. And he let us take like a piece of the bumper.
That's cool.
I don't have that bumper with me anymore. It was just collecting dust. I'm like, what am I going to use it for? My friend took the splitter. I wonder if he still has the splitter. He took the whole splitter off and he just took it with him. And he was just walking around with this. Who was it? I think it was either Andre or Alex.
Oh,
yeah. One of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you for welcoming me to the show.
It's a pleasure having you here again.
Love it here.
I wanted to start off with like, hey, thanks for coming again, and people would be like, what? And then they click back. This guy's never been on the show. Yeah, for a reason. Because it's been we have to restart.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. I don't mind doing it again, and it's we always have something new to talk about.
And it's fun,
which is pretty cool.
I like it. Yeah, it's fun.
Man, it's wicked. I love it.
Yeah,
love
it. Tell these fine folks watching what you do, just so we get to know you a little better.
I'm a local realtor professional here in Waterloo region.
Continuing the family business.
Yes, that's correct. So father has been in the business for 15, 16 years. Going on to 16 years now.
Seasoned. Very seasoned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to continue the going into the family business, as Dale from Step Brothers would say to his doctor father.
It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
But he needs school for that. That's what I told him.
He's a doctor. Anyway, so yeah, do real estate here, hot market. Love doing it. I don't see many cars inside of houses, but
no,
yeah, here and there. Like I see
decent garages though.
Yeah, I see photos, a lot of photos of nice garages. Sometimes I don't go into those homes because there's no point of going through a home if you don't have a client that wants to go see it, right?
Right.
But no, it's pretty cool. Like I have seen some pretty cool ones. I saw one in Waterloo. I didn't go inside of it. This is just it was a photo, and he had a hoist with a yellow lotus on top.
Ooh.
And it was the bottom car. You'd never guess. It's like a green. It's like an indigo green type MR2.
Indigo green. What is indigo?
Indigo is it's
all I know is because
it's like a mix between blue and green, but it's not Tiffany. It's like that. It's more green than blue, but it's kind of like a
indigo blue or indigo green.
It's like indigo. Just
MR2.
Just type in indigo MR2.
Oops, MR3.
Watch some books come up from indigo chapters.
And books came up from indigo chapters. Oh,
he may have wrapped it. I don't know.
Maybe, but I like MR2s, and that's funny that the guy would have a Lotus on top, because both cars are meant for having fun on corners and whatnot. Yes. However, I heard and I'm not well versed in the MR2s, but from what I understand, they have like very aggressive snapback if you ever go sideways, to the point where they'll actually throw you off the track.
Oh wow, that's fun.
But yeah, no, that's cool. Oh, this thing.
Yes, that's the exact color.
So that's like it's like a almost like water from a tropical island. It's like a mix of blue and green.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's kind of cool.
You'll never see that, but
you don't. And it wasn't stock. It was that I remember the MR2 was.
It was subtly modified.
Yeah, and it was nice. It wasn't bad at all.
No, it's cool. So you've seen a few cool garages. Do you have a preference for yourself looking into, your own future? Hopefully, one day, would you be content with like a 1-car garage, 2-car garage?
Honestly, my dream is to have 2-car garage.
Yeah.
That's my all-time dream.
Just a simple one, but like tall enough for 2 hoists or 1 or 2 hoists?
Honestly, no. Because in my opinion, I think if I were to have, because I've thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to have like my dream car, I wouldn't mind having one spot for it in the garage and then another spot next to it for whatever, wife's daily or whatever.
So your wife's car would go in the garage?
Yeah. I wouldn't care. And then I don't mind parking outside because I personally don't care.
So you're nice because I'm not. When my wife asked me about like the whole, because we all, like me and you do it, all of our friends talk about what kind of cars you want, your dream cars, blah blah blah. And then whenever I go on a walk with my wife, she's like, oh, like what would be your perfect car garage? I'd be like, okay, listen, like let's be honest, if I had a house that could have a 4-car garage, I'd give you one. Right?
You're such a savage.
Yeah, take the driveway. But the thing is, she loves her cars too, so I know she would want me to share.
Yeah, true.
But for me, I would want somehow separate the house and the garage. I want to separate the house and the garage, and I'd want to put one hoist and just have almost like a mini warehouse, but not really.
So somewhere like in the country.
Yeah.
Like a barn.
Yeah.
Ooh, like a barn.
But picture a barn and cut the barn in half, right? Mm-hmm. And half of the barn, like the front facing, obviously, that's where the cars would go. But the other half would be like game room, like a gentleman's lounge
where the boys are gonna hang out,
right,
and talk about comic books
and would I have
Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, I don't know about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, but cars, yes, cars and watches, you know me, and then my comic books, but
like a little cigar shop.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
And then I'd have like a window which if you're from the looking at it from the garage, it's a mirror, but from our side, like a double-sided or two-way whatever mirror thing. That'd be cool.
So my all-time dream, if we're gonna go talk about our dreams,
might as well. We can talk about whatever.
And look, like I would love to have what I said originally. Like that is my ultimate, like, realistic, attainable dream, know what? That I want to do soon, right? But so
okay, I was gonna say, like, let's not talk attainable. Let's talk like crazy. Like yeah, it's fun. Yeah, because I would love to have that, but I'm being realistic. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
Yeah. Right? But like, I would love to do the same thing, like country, right? Go out in the boonies and find like a really, it doesn't have to be a big house. It just has to be like nice, you know. But the garage, obviously, if we're gonna talk about garage, sorry, I just touched you there.
That's okay. I like it.
No, like probably if I could even have like you said, like 4-car garage, and then within it, because this has always been my dream. Not always, probably like recent, because I randomly thought about it, like a coffee shop.
Yeah.
For some reason, and then within the coffee shop, have like this parked inside of it, just chilling, because you don't even drive it, just there, because it's art to me in my eyes.
I think there's a guy that had a Pagani mounted on his wall in his like bedroom or living room.
That looked crazy. I've seen the photos on Instagram about that. I see photos of this. I guess it's like it might be a sneaker shop, or like they do clothing or whatever. But in the middle of the shop, I think it's in California somewhere.
Probably.
In the middle of the shop, they always have pretty cool cars. Like they've had RWBs in there, and that's where I got this idea from. I'm like, whoa, can you imagine you're in a coffee shop and you're looking at a beautiful Porsche, or like a beautiful blah blah blah.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's so cool.
Kids and people would want to touch.
I know. Right? I know. That's why you put like a little rope around it, and whenever anything is roped, you know that you're not allowed to touch it because there's somebody watching. Yeah,
because I don't think people understand. I mean, some people do, like Danny does, Stefan does. You know, me and you know what happens to a car if you just rub it, if you just touch it, right? Yeah. But a lot of people don't understand that you scratch cars just by almost looking at it.
Your like average citizen doesn't know what can happen, and like there are people that think that it's an extreme, but obviously you want to take care of your asset, right? Of any sort. So you don't want to be too, how do you say, like, rough with anything, right?
Right.
Makes sense. I get it.
But speaking of, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Like if you're gonna also like detail it, like Danny details other people's cars and he takes care of them very well.
Right.
Right. But there are people that genuinely enjoy taking care of their own hobby, right? They find it a hobby to take care of their own cars and clean them. And
that's me with my car.
Yeah, you with your S2000, right? So there are people that just genuinely enjoy doing that, and in their eyes it's a hobby, but it's work, right? So if anybody scratches it, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I see it.
I was gonna touch on the dream thing. I always pictured of having a coffee shop, but like mounted on the walls, you know, Sparco steering wheels, Momo steering wheels, old steering wheels from like Porsches, like the boxy ones from like a 993 or even like older, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you know, license plates from Germany, from like England, Japan.
Dude, Japan.
Oh, I'd go ham on Japan. But you know, I'll get an LS engine table. From a Corvette.
See,
cool.
And that's not for everybody. So that's why I would rather have that shop like for yourself. It's just there. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
Not everybody would go.
But if there's a big car culture in the area,
those people would.
It would happen. And honestly, if you had a space big enough, you could host your own, you know, private events on it.
Yeah. That'd be so cool. And that's what I would love to do. Like,
I'd love that.
If we were going to talk about that dream, I would love to have that.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
So that's what I would. That's my thing. Kind of.
So speaking of dreams, we've talked about this with many of our friends and between ourselves as well. And it's always interesting because the list always changes.
Dude.
It keeps changing.
Yeah.
And it could change from like, you know, last month if we talked about it, right? And for those who are thinking, the list is fill your dream car garage. Taxes don't exist. Like, let's keep it simple. You have $250,000. It's a lot, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy 250,000 Toyota Tercels. You will have storage for it. Okay, storage comes included, right? And it's your warehouse. You can do with it whatever you please.
But you need to spend the money on the car.
You have to spend your money on the car. So cars. So you can't keep anything you currently own.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you own, some crazy nutcase gave you $250,000 for all the, wheels in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, except for the wives. Let's just keep the significant others out of it because they probably have their own list.
Honda Civic.
No.
Anyways, yeah.
No. For Kaylin, it's a Ford, but we're going to replace that soon. So with that being said, 250,000 cars or one car doesn't matter, but you have $250,000 to replace your current car/cars.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Okay. So we talked about this recently.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the first thing that you said. List always changes, blah, 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 blah. Guess what?
It changed?
It changed. Now.
Can I guess where it changed?
You won't.
Is it with the Tacoma?
No.
Okay.
You won't guess.
Okay. I'm not going to guess now.
I want you to pull up. Okay. So first off, I want to tell everybody that I have, if for those that know or don't know, I have a Touareg. Love that car. And I would add that to my list.
So you would add another Touareg diesel?
Yes. So I was looking last night. I was actually not. I'm not joking. I was looking last night. There's one 2016 diesel Touareg.
Right.
Has like 35,000 kilometers on it for 40 grand. So that's what I would get.
Wow. Wait, what year?
2016. So that's the last model year that they did the diesel.
Jeez.
That's what I would get because I absolutely
40K.
Yeah.
Ooh. What were they brand new?
I don't know, man. There were a lot. I think they were expensive. So
40K.
I'd do that. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Okay, because my list last time was a Ford Mustang GT350R.
Which, spoiler alert, it's still on my list. That I don't think that car's ever gonna leave my list.
Yeah, so that's my
thanks, Steve, for initiating me into that thing.
Yeah, he popped my cherry with that too.
He ruined Mustangs for me because, full disclosure, I'm not an American muscle guy. Okay, I've always appreciated them, right? But they were never for me. I like a car that can go on a corner. Americans just never did that until I drove a Camaro ZL1. No, Z28. I think Nick Guinness's Z28, and it blew my mind. Flat foot shifting, no lift shift, whatever. I think they perfected that. And then I drove the 350R, and I even after gaining the respect of the American cars that can handle, I still didn't like the Mustangs. I just didn't like them. And then they came out with the memes.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, was it the memes that threw you off?
It threw me off even more because it's just like I see all these guys with, baseball hats, those like pointy reflective sunglasses and a goatee with the muscle shirt and like a barbed wire tattoo sticking out with the sunburn, okay? Those are the guys that I always see driving them, right?
Steve.
He didn't. He'll fit half that description. But the thing is, I always see those guys, and they always kind of like want to show it off and blah blah blah. And I get that some people don't like the BMW drivers that do that, but then the memes started coming out of how these guys are hitting people, and I'm like, not for me. But then I drove the 350R, and that thing just changed my world to the point where I'm like, who was it that asked me if you can get a GT3? A Porsche GT3 or a 350R, what would you get? And I'm just like, I don't know. It is that good, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
That's just my opinion, though. But for a guy that does not like Mustangs, would want to have one in his collection, I think it's big.
So that's what I would have.
Okay, so
GT350R,
okay.
And I was gonna have an Acura NSX. That was the 2000 NSX.
Right.
Nicer lights,
right?
You can probably, what is it? I think it's 6-speed instead of 5-speed. That's like the difference, right?
Mm-hmm. I haven't driven one actually, so
here's the thing. Like,
I always want to.
I'm gonna erase that one, but what I want to get
Mm-hmm.
is not out yet, and I don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Nissan?
No.
I thought the 400 ZX.
And guys, this might actually come out when you guys are watching this, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, you're an idiot! This actually costs 160 grand or whatever." Type this in.
Jamie, pull it up. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night. He's like, you should start saying, Jamie, pull that up on your podcast. And I'm like, you know what?
Let's do it.
We've done it in the other ones.
All right, Jamie, pull it up. All right, so Toyota Supra GRMN.
GRMN?
Mm-hmm.
A 503 brake horsepower M3 Toyota Supra. GRMN is planned, but production will be limited. According to Japanese publication Best Car Web, Super GRMN is planned and will use the S58 twin-turbo inline-six found in the X3M and the X4M, as well as the next-gen M3, M4.
I would take this.
Holy shit.
But I don't know how much it's going to cost because they said limited production.
Okay, well, let me start this. This car is probably going to be north of $100,000. I can put my money on that. You're putting an M3 engine inside.
Yep.
Even think about it this way: M2s are over 100K.
So
right?
I'm thinking, what do I have left? How much money do I have left? Because I'll put it all towards this.
So, and let's be nice. Let's just call it 100,000 because we don't know.
No,
because
I think it'll be more. I think it'll be more.
At the end of the day, it's still a Toyota. I'm not discrediting the brand at all, but at the end of the day, it's not. You're not going to pay M3 pricing for a Toyota.
So that's what I was going to say.
Right?
Is like, why?
But at the end of the day, people are also very like, oh, I want something that nobody else can get, who are willing to pay a premium. So, so this might be something that, hey, I want to buy it, and then the moment it comes out, it's just gonna the flippers are gonna be like, yep, $200,000.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
Yeah.
So you want to say 120?
Whatever I have left. So 40, 75. What do I have left?
So you're at 195. So if you're at 195, that's 55K left.
Oh wow! So I have money left to.
Yeah.
Well, this is the tricky part when an unreleased product comes out.
Well,
you know what I mean? So,
okay. Well, it doesn't matter because this is all hypothetical, theoretical.
Right. Okay.
You have
55.
So let me ask you this: you have the Touareg diesel for family every day.
Yeah.
Let's pull a race car to the track. It's a diesel, has torque, it can do that. You have the 350R, which I'm pretty sure I would buy just to hear it start and turn off because that thing just sounds disgusting listening to it.
Love it.
Driving is a totally different experience as well. But then you have this GMNR Supra. GMNR, right? GRMN Supra. And I'm just going to write this down as 120, just for now.
Let's just say it's 120.
Yeah. So you have 55K left.
And
what'll it be?
For all of the American listeners, these are prices in Canadian.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Just so you know.
Nah, it's a Canadian podcast.
Yeah. So, 55,000 left.
Mm-hmm.
And I can buy something for 55 grand.
We can come back to that if you want.
No,
because you might get something from me. You might, I got reminded.
Yeah.
So
true.
Mine, and we're saying the 350R is around 75K if you buy it right. If you buy it pre-owned, I know Danny had one. He actually told me about it. I was like, hey, just came across this. Do you want it? I'm like, I'm content with my little lawnmower.
It's just hard to believe that it was an R.
And you know what's also hard to believe? The fact that nobody wanted it for 2 weeks.
That's so crazy.
Which is insane.
That's so crazy.
I'm like, I'll take it.
There's one sitting right now for 89 grand.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, in the winter it's going to be a hard sell. But
it's hard, yeah.
For me, I'd also do the 350R. Let's just get that out of the way. I also want to relive a few of the cars that I've had growing up. So I would want to get an 06 RSX. This time I want to do it right. Type S. Also want to get it in white with a nice little wing on the back from factory. Those I just think are just gorgeous. That's about 15K.
Yeah.
GSX Integra, would love to have that. Mark IV Supra, such a nice car. It's going to run me 75K.
Yeah.
So that would be, it was between that or an R34, and I'm still switching back and forth. But the thing is, the R34, if you're looking at a V-Spec, you're running at like 175.
Yeah, they're expensive.
If it's a clean example, relatively, decent mileage on it. So that's why I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get a Mark IV Supra, not settling in any means, right? So none of these cars can be winter driven. So I want to get a Tacoma.
That's
right.
Beautiful.
Pre-owned Tacoma. Again, you buy it right, you'll spend maybe 35, 40K. And you'll be fine to, haul any car if you want to take it to the track, or if you want to go biking. Exactly. So, and then I'd still keep the S2000 in the collection. So I just buy another example.
There you go.
Right. So I am relatively simple, but that list always gets tweaked. Sometimes I put a little 1 Series in there. Sometimes I throw in an E46 M3 and replace it with a few cars. So I always wanted to have a car for every day. Because you can.
True.
I get it that there's a lot of people out there that are content with having just, 1 or 2 cars and that's it. Yeah. But honestly, there's, if I had this, if I had that, and I think us as people, we can get sometimes greedy and we just never stop. Like I told myself, well, once I get the dream watch, I don't care about, I'm not going to be looking at watches again. And guess what happened?
Do you know why?
It's just another box checked and then on to the next one.
Yeah,
so
I think you just get used to that watch.
No.
Right? And then you get used to, because look, ask anybody that has a Lamborghini. Ask anyone. They get used to it.
Yeah.
They get used to it and they're like, yeah.
It's the power.
It's a Huracan Performante.
Yeah. But you know what? It's the excitement. It's the excitement. It's the chase. It's the thrill.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
if
it motivates you, then yeah.
Because if you don't have something you're chasing towards, then
that's right.
Right. But hey, there's nothing wrong with being content, satisfied, because right now as it sits, I have a convertible for the summer, spring, summer, fallish, like depends on the day type of thing. But I also have the WRX for the winter, and that thing kicks ass. Yeah. Like that's the most fun you'll ever have with your clothes on in the winter. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing car. So, it's still mind blowing, by the way.
What that thing can do in the winter?
Yeah, well, you've taken me out and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's all like.
I try pushing people to like, hey, have you ever?
Yeah.
Do you wanna come? It's like, yeah, I've gone, sideways in the snow before. Yeah, just went in my Cavalier when I was okay. Let's be kids again and let's find a parking lot.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is.
You have 55K left, my friend.
Jeez, man, that's so hard. Because with the 55K, I feel like it's like a breaking point between a few cars, right?
It is. Like you can get some Japanese, you can get some muscle in there.
Yeah, but I already have.
You already have a
350R.
Yeah, the
so
350R is
no
the muscle. You have the Japanese mixed with German. You have the German. You know what you could get?
What's 55 grand? Like I don't want anything under 55 grand. I just want to spend it all.
So I don't know if you can.
What are you thinking?
I just want to see if they're out there right now, because I don't want to. Hang on. And to
Jamie, pull it up.
All right, yeah.
All right, Jamie.
But here's the difference between me and Jamie. He's
fast.
Stupid fast.
He's fast. He knows what you're thinking about, and he's already there.
Because there's so many times I'll watch the podcast, and next thing you know, I was like, wow, he's really fast. I'm just talking about it. Yeah. Boom, 55,000 British Racing Green. Get a Lotus Esprit.
I was looking at this 2 days ago. I'm not even 2 days ago. I was looking at this.
Dude, I always look at this. And look at this one right here. There's a clean example. I'm getting the 78 Lotus Esprit, but look at this. This looks
wait.
so retro.
What's the interior like? Is it the red one? The red interior?
No, it's brown. But look at the back though. Oh.
Yeah, see, I don't. Oh, whoa.
And look at the cluster. The cluster is green as well, man. Like, this is beautiful.
He's asking 39?
Yeah.
I'll give him 55. Man, what am I gonna do with the what do I have left? 15,000. What am I gonna do with that? Buy like a.
It is a British car. Not to knock those who have it, but you might need a few things replaced here and there.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
There
Done.
you go.
Done deal.
So pay asking price and call it a day.
The reason why I want this one is because I saw it in a movie I was watching.
Really? Which one?
Man, it is called Archive, and I recommend anybody watching this to go watch that movie. I'm not gonna ruin anything. Great movie.
Speaking of movies, I'm actually going to go to. I did had Ged as a guest last week.
Yeah, he was great.
And I'm going to go over his place to talk about favorite movies.
Okay.
And I'm struggling with one, and I thought I could review it with you.
Okay.
The obvious ones that we grew up with were Gone in 60 Seconds and Fast and Furious. I think that's what kicked it off, right? But the other ones, so Need for Speed.
Yeah.
We also grew up with. And then in the movie, you get the point of view of the actual driver inside the car, just like the video game.
Yeah. But it was.
Then you also have the cop chases, just like the video game.
Yeah, but the videography in that movie,
it's beautiful,
is so good.
And the cars, the Koenigsegg Agera R, the
Apparently
Sesto Elemento, they are all fake, dude.
That's
Can
crazy.
you imagine crashing a Koenigsegg?
Yeah, I know, but like even driving it and stuff
or
like that.
Or even the land, that's like $1 billion gone.
Yeah.
Not just Koenigsegg. I'm talking like Sesto Elemento and all those other cars.
Yep.
So I'm having difficulties because that car's that movie's relatively new and that we grew up with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, essentially with playing video games.
So I need
like
your opinion on this because the other two, now that I'm going to branch out, and I know that in the third, like the last one I would want to do and compare, and I'll start with that one, would be Baby Driver.
That's a good movie. That's a good
movie.
I never thought about that one.
But it's not a car movie.
Well, it's not.
But it is. It's not, but it is. Like the opening scene for I think the first 10 minutes of him driving that WRX is amazing.
Great. Yeah.
The way he goes sideways, the way and he actually bought that car after the movie was done.
Wow.
He actually bought it.
Wow.
So that's an amazing movie, but I don't think it can be classified as
a car movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So the one that I'm really struggling with, and I think the Baby Driver is an honorable mention. The one that I'm struggling with is Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, I was just going to say that one. That's a great movie.
Ford versus Ferrari?
Great
or
movie.
Need for Speed. Need for Speed is more corny. It's more cheesy.
Yeah.
The acting is not as good.
Yeah,
the actors aren't as good, which I get. But that was a strictly car movie, just like Need for Speed was. But the amount of cars you got in Need for Speed, the amount of exposure of different brands, like the Selena 7.
Yeah.
That was in the final race.
Yeah.
The Koenigsegg Agera R, Lamborghini, Mustang, which is still, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But there's so many cars that it's just, and I think Kid Cudi was in it too.
Yeah.
Was he?
He was. Yeah. He was part of the gang.
Was he a part of the gang, or was that a different guy?
No.
Jordan B. Peterson.
No. It's Kid Cudi.
Was it?
Jamie, pull it up. Because I'm pretty sure it was Kid Cudi. Now here's another movie that
it is Kid Cudi. Yeah,
he was Benny.
Yeah, so he is. It is.
Okay,
Michael Keaton, the Doy, right?
What's that movie called that we watched when we were kids?
Red Line.
Red Line. That's a good movie.
It's cheesy too. Red Line.
It's cheesy too, but it's a great movie.
So it's not the Japanese version, the Japanese animated version, which is also
I was going to say it
automotive related.
It did not get a 7.5. It probably got like a 3.
It got a 3, but it was a good 3.
No, like probably not. Actually, it was just
the Selena 7 was in it, but also I think the Ford GT that he did I think he did a cannonball run type of thing across from like one.
No, it was the SLR. He was in
the SLR McLaren.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he did like a cannonball run type of thing.
Yep.
And that's another thing I want to touch on because cannonball is kind of like a rally in itself. You went on a rally.
Yeah, that was fun.
Tell me about it.
It was good times, man. It was really
Would you
cool.
recommend anybody to go on a rally? Because and the reason why I want to touch on it is you told me a very interesting thing that there was a couple there that didn't have this absorbent amount of money.
Yeah.
but they just rented a car.
Yeah. They rented a car. And by the way,
so anybody can do this is what I'm trying to say. Anybody can do this.
Yeah, no, and I was blown away because what they kind of were doing, which by the way, they just got married, I think last year or so.
That's one hell of a way to spend a honeymoon, if that was a honeymoon.
Yeah, man. And they've done a few rallies in between that time and now. And when I met them, they were like, yeah, we're trying to do this thing like a power couple and just do random, cool, fun things, right? And it was interesting though. We were wrapping some of the cars that weren't wrapped for the rally. And
this was with Paul,
This was with Paul, yeah.
Right, okay.
And we were kind of like helping them out. Paul was doing a lot of the work. And I was, from what I knew, I helped out, right, with some of the wrapping.
From what I knew, I could have been making mistakes, but
so this
they were telling me I was helping.
This couple, it's their names is Faith and Clayton. They live in, I think, Colorado. And they actually opened up their own wrap shop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And now she has, I think, a Ferrari, like a purple wrapped Ferrari. I don't even know what it is. But they're really good friends with the YouTuber Stradaman, the guy with the Bugatti.
Don't know him.
No, what?
No,
that's weird. Anyways, he's pretty big. He's a pretty big YouTuber. Yeah, so they're really good friends with him, and yeah, they're doing their own thing. But anyways, it was really fun. It was a really good time. So what we did was,
what is a rally for those who don't?
Yeah.
Just
so essentially, a rally is it's just a bunch of cars get together, and typically they're really higher end cars. Not really high end, but higher end, right?
But there was a Ford Focus RS there.
There was, I think, there was a Golf GTI.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but like this one in particular, it was higher end, right? And there are like, what's the one that's up out in British Columbia? What's that one called? There was one. Never mind. Whatever.
I don't know.
I think there was one I thought that was in BC or in Vancouver a while back.
There probably is.
Yeah, but anyway, those were all like there was a bunch of cars. There was Ferraris. There was SLRs. Or no, not SLRs. It was SLS Black Series, which was cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
yeah. Anyways,
that's one Mercedes I'd actually want.
Yeah, that's one.
Not on my list though.
Yeah, that one went up in value like crazy.
Oh, anything Black Series went up in value.
Yeah.
The new GT, the new AMG GTR Black Series is now officially the fastest car in the world.
What?
It's the number one on the Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the fastest car in the world. I'm like, no way, dude.
That technically, that's the proving grounds. That's the proving grounds. Dude, straight line, you can build a EK hatch with turn it into all-wheel drive, and it'll dust anything.
True.
So, anyways,
so a bunch of cars get together, and they
go from city to city.
Yeah, and they have sponsors on their cars, and they just drive around from city to city. They stay there for the night, and then they just go around and come back in like 5, 6, 7, 10 days, whatever it is.
And you happen to be in the loudest car.
Yeah. No, actually, no. That's incorrect. So there was another RCF that was in the rally. Oh. He came from Miami, Tucker.
Was that is that a Rocky Bunny kit as well?
No. So his wasn't. Okay. He brought his RCF, and all it had was just red Vossens on it. With it did look really good. It was black with red, like matte red Vossens. But man, that thing, he put in headers on it, and that thing sounded like a race car when he downshifted.
Yeah, I believe it.
It sounded like a NASCAR. It sounded insane. So like everyone thought, Paul's car's the loudest, and I did too. I thought it was the loudest. There was Lamborghinis there. There was Aston Martin. There was,
and Paul's car was still louder than those.
It was louder, yeah.
Wow,
because it was loud.
Because Astons are known to be loud.
Yeah, that was a loud car, like probably one of the loudest. But anyways, when everyone was talking, did you guys hear that RCF? And I'm like, yeah, Paul's. And they're like, no, the black one. And I'm like, no, I had no idea, right? And I started looking for it, found him, and then I heard it on the highway when we went and had some fun in Mexico. And it was so loud. It was so loud. It blew my mind. I actually didn't think that it was that loud. Wow. And you know, when even here, when Paul drives by you and you have your window open, it's like, oh God, piercing. Paul, like why are you doing that? Right.
Yeah.
This was worse. When he downshifts, it's worse, man. Like but better.
I'm curious to hear.
Yeah. He doesn't have any like good videos up.
It doesn't matter.
But it's phenomenal.
And then you did a stunt for the camera.
Yeah, so it wasn't a stunt, man. It was just it was more of like just a fun thing to do. So it was raining. It was raining hard.
But now you were holding onto the seatbelt.
Yeah, I had my seatbelt on.
And, it's still on. Okay.
And
it was totally safe.
Yeah, it was totally safe. Kids don't do this at home.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
I was 18.
Yeah. So we were going. I forget where we were going. I think we were actually going to New York. So essentially what we were doing is we went from Toronto to Montreal to New York City to Atlantic City to Syracuse, Syracuse to Niagara Falls, and then Niagara Falls home.
Wow. So like a big loop.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So when we were going from Montreal to New York, we there was kind of like a car show that I think we were trying to prepare for and make the cars look half decent. And then all of a sudden it started to rain. So so we had the guy next to us was Marlon. He was from Cars Without Limits. Okay. The Instagram page.
Yeah.
And he was in his GTR that he had it wrapped like Paul Walker's GTR and the R34.
Okay.
He had it wrapped just like that. So he was recording and I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll just, I'll wash I'll wipe his car down, right, while it's raining. So
because you have those photos of guys washing their cars as they're driving or cleaning their cars.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah. So I was just like, whatever. It was pretty cool. It was funny. And then he posted it on Cars Without Limits, which I was impressed with.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. No, it was really cool. I recommend anybody who hasn't done one to do it because you just meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, of
different
course.
people. Right?
You get connected.
Yeah, you get connected, and that's connections, and
well, that's why I wanted to ask you because I find that's so cool that even if if somebody's like listening to this, I only have I'm not saying I'm just gonna say a Tercel. I only have a Toyota Tercel. You can rent a car and still do this, which is so cool because I mean, obviously, as long as you're not being stupid about it, you have to be responsible and everything, right?
Yeah. And that it'll cost you money to rent a car for 6 days. It'll cost you a lot of money, but
it's cheaper than having insurance on a supercar.
Yeah, but
it's cheaper than the gas on the supercar.
That's true,
right? So
that's true. Well, even our friend Stefan, what he did was he rented a GT3 and went to California
every time. He just goes to Cali, I think 3 times a year, and he'll rent a GT3. I think last time he did was a C2S, which perfect car in my opinion.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he just, destroys it. By destroying, I mean carving the canyon and whatnot. Yeah, drives it safely, and just returns it, right? Yeah, so and that's the thing. It's you don't take any of the wear and tearable items, any of the brake jobs, tires. You just drive it and enjoy it.
But that's the thing. You don't have to go to a rally. Like rally is more fun if. It's fun because there's a lot of other cars with you, right? Right. And you can after you're going from place to place and then you're stopping for food, you get to talk to people. You go to the gas station, you get to talk to people, and that's the whole fun thing.
Right.
But even if you're with your spouse, right, that it's a cool thing.
She's got to be somewhat into it though.
Yeah, she does. You're right.
She doesn't like loud cars.
She's not into it. She's not into it. Then
but you wouldn't be with her if she's not into it.
True. Yeah. But no.
My wife's into it. For the record, she loves.
Really?
Oh, dude. She loves it.
Yeah.
Dude, when we went to the track to Cayuga,
yeah.
I'm like, sorry, sweetheart, it has to be during the weekday. Can I come? You're working. I'll take it off. I don't care.
Oh, wow. No way.
Yeah. And then we went and that's where, I took her, I think one of our first dates, well, not first dates, but when we just started dating, I took her to the drag strip to St. Thomas.
I remember that.
And that's where you dragged your Acura TL Type S on winter tires. You're like, nah, why not?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the only car that I had, and those are the only tires that I had in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Because I bought the car, and it came with winters.
And you're like, nah, whatever. And plus, when you're how old were you?
Oh, that was like this was about 6 years ago.
So you're just getting into
7 years
driving.
Ago. Yeah, just getting into driving, and
right.
I was I got this car when I worked at Mercedes. Picked it up it was pre-owned. So I picked it up. It was really cheap, and you know what? That car, I absolutely loved that car. I actually loved it. I got this Touareg, and Yelena's like, why'd you get this Touareg? Your Acura was so much nicer. And it was a funny story. So I knew that I wanted to sell that car because I'm like, I don't know. Like I want something different. I'm getting into a better profession, right? So I want
something a little more professional.
Yeah, I want something nicer. I just want something that I can, show up with my clients or drive them around. Like I don't want people in an Acura TL, right? It's just right. Anyways, so Yelena and I, we went to Dominican that week, and I just told my dad, I'm like, you know what? If you can, just if anybody calls or texts, here's my information. Try selling this thing, whatever.
I remember this now.
Right? And
because Dad called me. I don't know if he told you.
Oh no, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
But anyways, I come back, and I'm in the plane, and I'm reading just some of the messages, and he sent me only one message for 7 days. I sold your car. like,
did he tell you who he sold it to?
Oh, I met the guy.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
You know where that car is now?
It's in Nigeria.
Africa.
Yep.
Bumbata.
Yeah. It's the guy he ships cars, and he makes money on it, man.
Yeah, like exporters make a lot of money.
Good money.
There's an insane amount of money in exporters, but it comes with a hefty price.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to get a nice car down the road.
Yeah, so
but if it's used cars, that's a different story. But still, no. But good money in exporting.
And then my dad actually showed me the Touareg. He's like, oh, this is kind of like a cool car. And I'm like, I do like this car a lot. The reason why I liked it is because I watched a movie with a Touareg in it. Do you remember which one that is? And it's the older version Touareg. It's not this one.
Now you got me stuck in like Africa.
Go. No.
I was gonna say
come back to this side. If you can't get it, I'll just tell you.
I don't know. I'm not.
Repo Man.
Right, Repo Man. Great movie.
So that movie, they drove like the old. So Jude Law.
But it was like kitted out.
Yeah. So Jude Law lifted it. He had like a big wheel set on it.
Right.
Really cool, man. And that's where I was like, yo, Touaregs are actually kind of cool. But it never crossed my mind to buy that. And then when I bought it, absolutely loved it.
Want to know what planted the seed in my head to look at a Subaru?
What's that?
Guess.
Oh, the movie.
Baby Driver. Yeah.
No, the movies do. That's why these car manufacturers pay these movies to make it look cool and they're
I get it,
wow,
dude.
I really wanted to get that.
I get it.
And it worked. It worked for both of us, right?
It worked.
So
it worked. Even if it's an older movie, it doesn't matter.
Product placement. That's what it is, right? So no, I
now we got to figure out a way how to plug you selling houses.
Product placement. just put an advertisement right on your desk here. Just
or just you know what? As we're doing the podcast, just a random and
thing
then just goes across the screen.
Just a random commercial. Oh, and if you're looking to sell or buy your house, contact Ilija Lukić at Remax Twin City Kitchener, 519-404. Anyways,
actually does it.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Dad sold that car, got a Touareg, but that car was really fun. And anyway, sorry, I forgot to tell you. While I was on the on my vacation,
where were you?
I went to Dominican.
Right.
Yeah, and Mom and Dad were like, "Oh, let's just like make sure the car," because the guy was gonna come to drive it to see if it drives and how it drives and whatever, right? So Mom and Dad were like, "All right, let's go drive it just around on Fairway here and come back," right? And when apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently when they got in, they were like, oh my God, he's been driving this car for this long and he didn't say anything. What's going on? This car's falling apart, right? It's not. Do you know how they over exaggerate or whatever? Yeah. So like it wasn't the best because they Mom and Dad drive newer cars, right? So when they were driving mine, because it's an older car. It was, what year was it even? 2008?
Yeah. One of the last years.
Yeah, and it had like 260,000 kilometers on it or something like that.
For an Acura, that's like half of its
not
life
bad,
cycle.
yeah, but that's a lot, right? And so obviously things weren't the best. They weren't brand new.
So they called and complained?
No, well, they told me, they were like, dude, you were driving this thing? And I'm like, yeah, like whatever. But now I got a Touareg.
Dude, you were driving this thing on the racetrack?
Yeah.
And you ran low 14s.
Like low to mid 14s, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's a good one for you, because we both, I think, have experienced decently fun cars, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, you need money to buy a fun, fast car.
Yeah.
No, not the case. The TL Type S is probably one of them that can check off every box. Great in the winter. 4
decent.
doors.
Yep.
Yeah, decent because it's not all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But who cares? You can manage. 4 doors, leather, nav, backup camera. Like,
what more do you want?
A V6 Type S.
Yeah.
That's an amazing engine.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can pick up very cheap, like sub $5,000 today. Same thing with an RSX. Same thing with an Integra. And these are little things that can give you a little bit of joy if you're looking to get, or if your son or kid is looking at getting into something. I always preach Japanese, right? I haven't been exposed. I've never been exposed to American. So for those who are American fans, you know, I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but I just don't have that exposure, right? So I've been exposed to Japanese and German, and that's what I kind of stick to because it's what I know.
Well, look, especially when you're just getting into it. So this is your first car, let's say.
Right.
You're getting a first car.
You want it to be reliable.
You want something reliable, right?
Yeah, you don't want it to cost you money every time. And
you kind of don't want to go and spend $20,000 on a brand new car. Right. So, you know, buying a used 10-year-old Japanese car, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So that's what I did. I actually drove my first car. That's a lie. So my first car was the Moan.
Oh, the Moan.
The Moan.
And why do we call it the Moan? And what is it?
So it's a Pontiac Montana, but we call it the
minivan.
It's a minivan, yeah. But
fully loaded though.
Yeah, it was
fully loaded.
So I bought that off of mom and dad for $1,500, and
2 trainers replaced.
Yeah. And we call it the Moan because in the words Montana,
on the actual logo,
the logo on the back of the car, it says Montana, Pontiac Montana or whatever. The words fell off and it spelled out moan. So we called it the Moan.
And it also did just moan as you're flooring it.
That's it.
You try and go.
No, yeah, remember when you step on it and it's just like it just took forever.
And then
yeah. Man, we made fun of it so much. But anyway, that was my first car. Because mom and dad were actually nice to sell me their minivan, right, for really cheap. Now, when you think about it, that was really cheap.
Was that the first car you drove with the G2?
That was my car.
When you got your G2. No, when you got your G2, your learner's permit, what was the first car you drove?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
It was not that one. I don't know if I had that car, because I know what story you're going with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just want to touch on the story.
Yeah.
C63.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if I owned that car yet, because it was my first week that I owned it. This thing happened.
Yeah. It was funny. It's just a quick recap. We were on vacation in Mexico, and Ilija here first week with his learner's permit G2, pretty much maxed out a C63.
Yeah. No, that was fun. And then
we crossed the border back.
And then we crossed the border back, yeah.
And we were fine.
Yeah. Because it was a tourist excursion that they did in Mexico.
Of course. But then all you hear in the back.
Yeah, you guys can't. Just don't go fast.
Yeah.
It's dark out. You know, it's dark out. It's a lot harder to see. Just do it during the day, man. Honestly.
Terrified, man.
Excellent.
But dude, Had I known that you just got your driver's license, I'd be like, you're doing it to what?
Yeah. Well, you know what though? That was amazing. I had the biggest smile on my face.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to keep up.
Yeah. With other tourists. But anyway, yeah, no, that was fun. But so I got the TL after that. TL was great. Now I have a Touareg.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
And you still want to keep it in for the next car?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I see that this is the thing that I love about working at a dealership is that you were able to pick up really good cars.
You have a number of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have, and the reason why is because it's not every day that you get to see these rare cars come in.
No.
And if you do see it, it's probably A, too late, or B, already too expensive because someone already owns it. So when you see this car come in, you can pick it up for whatever it got traded in for plus, a few $1,000s.
Yep.
So it's nice. I wish, and I bought my RSX used, like from an actual guy. Like I didn't get it in on trade.
Yeah.
Same thing with my WRX. I didn't get it dealer traded. I bought it from an actual Subaru store.
Yeah.
Right. So you can sometimes find those hidden gems if you're, just consistently on the internet, but you also have to get connections, right? If you're connected well enough, you know the right people.
Yeah.
You can also, find good deals like a 350R for $75K.
So you worked at a few different dealerships.
Right.
Did you find that there were better trade-ins at a certain dealership than another, or was it just the same all across the board?
No. So good question. So with the North American stores, you'll typically get North American.
Oh, okay. So you don't get anything else, like typically.
No. So for the local GM dealer, I've seen a few cars I never thought I'd see in my life, which aren't something to be kind of amazed at. But for example, I saw a cherry red Chevy Cobalt, just a normal Cobalt, with I think 18,000 kilometers on it.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
Traded in for $500.
What?
Yeah. And I'm looking at this car. I'm like, are you serious?
Man.
Sold in a day for $3,500.
Oh, easy.
I'm like, I should buy this.
Yeah, the profit margin on that's huge.
Not even for profit margin, but it's something. That's a cool factor. I have a Toyota Cobalt, whatever, with
Toyota
X
Cobalt.
amount of mileage on it. It's like, wow, yeah. Chevy Cobalt, yeah. So I've seen that, but I've been fortunate enough to be exposed with luxury, so I've been exposed to both BMW and Mercedes, and I also think it matters with the owner. So the ownership group who has access to more stores, they will bring in a number of different clientele in. And when we're talking about BMW versus Mercedes, I find that the Mercedes owners are more diversified when it comes to both money and what they own. So with the BMW, you'll have your guys that'll have, it's pretty much filled with enthusiasts, the BMW guys. As where with the Mercedes, you'll have your guys that want to own one, want to buy one, want to drive one. It's kind of like a dream thing, and they do that, and it's attainable. Great, good for you. But then you'll have the guys that he'll be driving an E400, and in his collection, he'll have like a 911 Turbo S.
Yes, that's so true.
He'll have a Rolls Royce.
That's so true.
He'll have a Lamborghini. And he has a number of different cars, but you'd never guess. You're like, nah. It's just a normal kind of, that's just one side of it, one side of the coin. But then you have the other guys who are actually the enthusiasts, and you'll have, I have a track car, I have this, I have that. And these are just things that you never know. And I think that's where in luxury, I've learned never to judge a book by its cover, because you never know. You just never know who that person is. And I've sold a number of, higher end cars just by talking to the guy, like, he was an actual customer. He, just treating him with with the respect that they all deserve. Yeah. Right.
I heard a really bad story for Jaguar.
Really?
Yeah. And this was like,
this is a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. So different owners, and I've heard stories about Waterloo BMW. Before they switched ownerships, it was bad. I think Matt was one of them.
Yeah, that one was bad.
That was bad.
I don't even know if you want to say that.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, like, I mean, you should never judge a book by its cover. And what we're talking about is, you know, when somebody walks into a dealership, if they don't look like they can afford a vehicle, don't think that they can't. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
And you know what? It's funny you say that, because I taught. So there's a few new guys that that I was teaching, and the most recent one, I told the guy's name's Jack. I said, Jack, I know that these kids are looking at trucks. I know that they're kids, but you know what? You never know. They might, and they're there with their friends in their Toyota Tundra, and they're looking at a Dodge Ram. I'm like, you never know. Because mom and dad might be buying, not the kid.
Yep.
And guess what happened later that day?
Yep.
Mom and dad came in.
Yep. Hey, look, never ever judge it, right?
And but the thing is, you have to qualify.
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody, and there's a right way to do it. I mean, if you walk into a dealership and say, I want to drive an AMG or I want to drive the M3, that's where you can be like, buddy, come on. Like, not only are they rare, but whoever's buying these cars don't want miles on them. They don't want the mileage. So it's a big no. But if you have the guys that are coming in, asking the right questions, looking at the right options, you know that they're genuinely interested, that's a different story. Right? And it's not, some guys pre-qualify. It's not good to pre-qualify. It's as you're going, you have to, as a salesperson, you also have to
know how to read people.
Read people, ask the right questions, because guess what? If that guy takes that car out and crashes it,
it's on you.
It's on you.
I remember when I worked at a store in Guelph, there was a gentleman that worked at a Porsche. So this gentleman, actually, he's an older guy, right? He used to work at the used car dealership where I worked at that time. And he worked at Porsche for a brief period of time, and he didn't pre-qualify this guy. And he drove, help me remember, okay, Jamie, you might have to pull it up, but it's like it's an older Porsche. It's not a traditional style of like a 911 or whatever. It's two doors. It's older. Oh man, it's
like a 928.
Pulled it up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's the one.
Yeah. So this guy, he wanted to drive this car. And it might be like a different version of this car. Maybe the headlights were different. I don't know. But I know it was this style. I don't know what. But anyways, so the guy wanted to drive it. And the sales guy that I actually worked with, he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. He didn't pre-qualify him. He didn't do anything. He just was like, yep, go ahead. Here you go. Took the keys, drove it, crashed it, totaled it, flipped it. Did everything to it, and that's what happened. Like, it was he didn't do his job, is what I'm trying to say.
Was it a 924?
Right? Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
because 928s and 924s are commonly mistaken.
Yeah. So like you have to just do your job, right?
But you know what? It's funny, because the funniest story I heard, and this wasn't me, but it was by a very respectable gentleman in the automotive industry. His name's Steven, And he told me a story I'm never going to forget, because I got swindled as well. I got tricked into someone, thinking that they have the money and yada, yada, yada. Just so they can drive something fun, put some, miles on a car, break a few speed limits and kind of call it a day. But he told me, he's like, this guy got dropped off in a limo. He's in a suit.
Oh my goodness.
And so on and so forth. And he drove like a few different BMWs. And then, his buddies pick him up in like a ratty Honda Civic or something along those lines. Oh my goodness,
no way.
And they're all hooting and laughing.
Why would you pay a limo, first off, to go to
who knows? Like, who knows? But that's
man.
It's just the extreme, right? And I get that the dealerships have a bad name for themselves.
Yeah.
And some are well deserved, but the general stereotype I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's just something that it's there's two sides to a coin. That's all I say.
Yeah.
But I always say qualify first.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're an actual customer looking to buy, so on and so forth. They're asking the right questions, and you're asking the right questions. You're fine.
Yeah. Well,
right.
there's like, what other situations can it be? Maybe it's just not some guy that's trying to waste your time, but what else could it be?
there's a lot of different scenarios. And I know of some guys that just like cars, and they'll come into the store and they'll just look at a car. I mean, I don't know his name. I've interacted with him a few times at BMW. But you'll always get like an aggressive sales guy. It's like, oh, I want that customer. I want that customer.
Yeah.
And every single time this kid comes in, I'm like, I'm not gonna, go after him like he's a customer, because he's here to look at all the new AMGs.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to him. Him and his friend, I think, they drive around on their free time and they'll look at BMWs, Audis, AMGs. I don't know if they visit any other stores, but they're enthusiasts.
Yeah,
just
that's
like me and you.
thing. That's
right?
the thing. Like there's nothing
they don't
wrong
ask for a
with
test drive. They don't bother anyone, but you can tell that they're enthusiasts.
Yeah,
right. And a lot of sales guys are hungry and they want to sell them a car.
True.
Right? So there's a lot of different situations where I think, again, making sure you're qualifying, asking the right questions.
Man,
right?
I really wish that I'm pretty sure, this is the first year that the International Car Show won't be a thing, right?
Yeah, because I worked the International Car Show last year at McLaren. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what's going to happen now? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like the end of the world.
So dealerships are still open for business. Some have reduced staffing, but it has slowed down. And January, February is tough.
Yeah, it typically is.
It's tough. It's slow.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a lull that we're in right now with automotive, and I mean it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You gotta take the rein with both hands and
see. The thing is, I feel like every year the car show had something cool with it. Like the one year it had the new Supra, the other year there was a P1 there, and it was like, whoa, everybody has to go there, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of things is online now. Everything's starting to be online, and it's becoming an online and digital world, as I discussed with Ged, but at the same time, touching, feeling, driving. I need that. I can't just read a brochure and say, "Ooh, 0 to 60, great, I'll buy that."
Yeah, so
no.
There was people that actually needed that. So Dad loved to go there. Our dad liked to go to the car show just to take a look at the new Highlander came out. Look, the brand new. I don't know if you saw the brand new Venza. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. And that's something that there are people that are out there that want to go see it. The new Sprinter might be there, and that they can't.
People like Mom.
Oh yeah, it's real leather.
I have never in my almost 9 years in the automotive industry have ever met somebody who looks at cars like that. So our mother, I love her. Our dad, the whole thing with being a sales guy is overcoming objections.
Yeah.
And the biggest one I hear all the time is, I got to talk to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So you're driving, and then you ask the sales guy, the customer, ask the sales guy, hey, can I go show my wife the car and get her permission to buy?
Right.
The sales guy's going to be like, yes. Let me just go run it by a manager, or sometimes they don't have to. Anyways, we were at a Lexus store. This is the first time I'm actually, grown, mature, buying cars with my dad. We were at a Lexus dealership. My dad likes it. Remember, Dad liked the Lexus SUV that they had?
Yeah, I loved it.
And we get home. And we pull in home. My mom's waiting. She comes outside. My dad rolls the window. Dad goes, what do you think? She's like, that's nice. Mom sticks her hand inside the window, grabs the steering wheel just to feel it, and she'd be like, no. And then walks back in.
Doesn't feel right.
Just discredits the whole car. No, I don't like it. I don't like the way the steering wheel feels. Steering wheel feel. That's all she cares about. Steering wheel feel.
Yeah.
Name a weirder qualification on buying cars. That's all she has to do. She doesn't have to drive it. Just don't like.
True.
Crazy.
Hey, everyone has their quirks, right? Quirks and features, as Doug DeMuro would say. Or is that?
Yeah.
So everyone has their own thing, right?
So
that's, I think, everyone has their own thing that they like, right? So for instance, what I like in a car is the steering wheel.
Everyone has a checkbox.
Yeah, I like the steering wheel feel too. Like, I like an Alcantara feeling steering wheel. I do like that. I like Alcantara stuff, no carbon fiber inside. No thank you.
Right.
But everyone has their own thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I get it. Ilija, my good friend and brother, we have run out of time.
Yes, sir.
Any last parting words for probably the third time?
Well, third time's the charm, right?
Third time's the charm, but any parting words before I see you next time? Hopefully, we don't have to do it 3 times before we actually air.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
no,
nothing. Just thanks for having me on, and I hope we do 3 more of these and 10 more of these, whatever. I hope it continues to grow.
Oh, I hope so too.
And I hope it continues to grow the way it has been. And like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff, guys.
Right?
Share with anybody who likes a car.
Yeah.
You like your cars?
Yeah.
Click the share button.
Send it their way, and if you need any real estate help, even if it's not local, but anywhere.
And then send it my way, and I'll send it his way.
Yes, sir.
Or I'll just tag you. I don't know if I can tag in whatever I'm posting,
sure you
but
can.
I'll figure it out.
You can. There's a way.
And just can you just imagine? Just again, we look at the camera, and then that happens. Okay, buddy. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Ilija.
Peace.